Hello, everyone. Welcome to Getting Real with Andrew Cohen. I am your host, Andrew Cohen, part of the ACE Podcast Network. Let's get started. Today is episode number 2. Day 2, episode 2. It's with ASHLEY Liao, and I'm pretty excited to get into it. But first, I had to be honest. The interview does not look great. Does not look great at all. What do I say? I mean, because this is from the former 5 Live comedy, and it's not, I did it on Skype, which I don't do anymore, and it was like, there's a lot in the background, there's a lot, it's legible, it's audible, you can hear it, but it's not like excellent audio. They're all going to be better, I think, after starting next week. But for these, it'll be a little rough. It's a little rough like last one. But I think you can still hear it, though, I think. You can still get through it. And, that's, just be warned. If you're an audiophile, you're not going to like it. No audiophile wants, to hear, like, bad audio. They kind of feel like they die a little bit inside. Do you ever meet those people? Do you ever meet people that, like, they're just, like, I hate people with pet peeves. You know what I mean? Like, there's sort of reasonable pet peeves. You can have your thing that you don't like, but just don't murder somebody over that thing. People are like, I have my pet peeve is that I don't like, I need everything organized. If you disorganize one thing, I will kill you. If you move a paper, like, that's not a reason to stab somebody in the throat. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I sound very tired today. I've had an exhausting day. I just have one of those days where you feel like you're not accomplishing anything, and even though like you kind of are, but you're really not. And I'll just work through it. Let's just work through this. But what else? Anyways, back to the interview. It's a really good interview. If you can't make it the full, hour and a half, I understand. But if you can, applause to you. Good job. Anyways, here it is. Enjoy my interview with ASHLEY Liao.
ACE Podcast.
Yeah, that's me.
Hi, oh my gosh, I am so sorry I am late. I set an alarm on my phone, but it went to PM instead of AM.
Of course,
so
it's,
the alarm never went off.
I understand that. I had to get up for something, and what happened was, my parents were like, okay, get up at 9 o'clock. Okay, you need to take your dog out, 9 o'clock. I wake up and they're home, and I'm like, what time is it? And 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. So yeah, I know what that's
I'm
like.
So sorry.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. So let's get started. So tell me about yourself. Tell me about where you grew up, about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So well, I was born here in California. I was born and raised here in Southern Orange County / like Southern California, general Los Angeles area. I grew up here my whole life. I really love it here. What else can I say about myself? I really love dogs, I guess. Like, that's one of the things I tell people when they ask me, like, tell me something about yourself. I'm like, I really love dogs.
Is that?
I'm a huge animal person. I love makeup and calligraphy, like writing like pretty fonts and stuff. I love doing that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I
Pretty
guess also
cool.
being an actress is a huge part of this too.
How did you get into acting? Like, how'd you do that?
Yeah, so when I was 10, my mom signed me up for community theater. And at first I was like, no, I don't want to go. Like, I have stage. I don't want to go. I'm nervous. And she's like, just do it. And I'm like, okay. So I did my very first production with a community theater, and I was Violet from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and that's kind of where I really fell in love with just the whole acting and dancing and singing and getting to be a part of something that's so much bigger than yourself. So after that, I did a production of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We did that. Not Somewhere Over the Rainbow. What is it? The Wizard of Oz, and I was Dorothy. So yeah, and then after that, we started doing commercials. We got a commercial agent, and then we did television after that and movies.
So I'd imagine, it's LA. So I was wondering, is it quicker? Is it like, let's say, somebody like you, they start in community theater in LA. Do you think that moves up quicker? Do you move up more down the line quicker because it's LA, or is it just because, you were right time, right place? Yeah. What do you think?
It could be a little bit of both, I feel like. When I started doing community theater, I never thought that it would directly go to commercials and then like TV acting, I feel like. I do have a friend though who lives in Georgia, and he started off doing theater, and now he's in Los Angeles. So I guess it's really just a bit of both.
Do you think but do you think that depends on the place that you are, or does it depend on like what you do? Like,
I think it definitely depends on where we are. We're just surrounded by this industry with movies and television and commercials and everything. So I feel like it definitely has to do with location of why it kind of went so fast.
I find that it's weird because I've been to LA a few times. I have some family out there.
Where are you from?
I live in Stamford, Connecticut. I'm right here from Connecticut. Yeah. So so whenever they tell the time, it's okay, like 12 p.m. So I'm like, okay, so that's 3 o'clock.
That's 3 o'clock here.
Yeah.
But yeah, always write out like standard Eastern time.
Yeah, but I go out, to LA sometimes for some family, and I've never seen anybody like when I was out there famous. Like, I've heard crazy stories. Like I had a teacher who was sitting next to Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, wow.
He was just reading a newspaper, and he just was sitting next to him. And I was there, and I was like, I was walking on like Hollywood Boulevard. I never saw like a famous person, it was so I guess that's sort of more of a luck thing.
I guess it's you and I together. I haven't seen anyone else either. I've been out there and stuff. We have seen people filming, which is really cool. Because even if you're not in the industry, that's just not something you see every day. Yeah. So like walking around and being like, oh, like there's a huge truck and lighting and cameras and crew, and I guess they're filming something. So I guess that's really cool too. For like tourists, when they come here, they can see that.
So let's get into some of the stuff you do. So let's start with probably the obvious one, Fuller House.
Yes.
So how did you get that role? How was there sort of a thing?
Well, like most roles, you have to audition for it. So your agent or manager sends you an email. They're like, hey. On this date, on this time, you got to be here, and then you're going to audition in front of these casting directors.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I couldn't actually get to that casting place at that time because I was filming a movie. I was filming Jessica Darling's It, which came out this summer. So I was like, what am I going to do? And they're like, you can do a self-tape, which is where you have your parent or a friend or someone read the lines opposite of you, and you're reading your lines to, like, the camera.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I did, and I submitted that in to casting people that I've already worked with. They're amazing. They're so sweet. And turned that in, and then we're like, okay, well, it's been a while. We haven't heard anything. And then we get a phone call, and they're like, hey, you booked a guest star on Fuller House. And I'm like, what? No way. Because actually at the time it took me a while to realize that Fuller House is the sequel to Full House. It took me like a good minute to kind of connect those two together. But yeah, after that, they're like, it's a guest star, it might be recurring, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it was recurring, which meant that it, like, I came back on the show more than, and then second season, they're like, hey, do you want to be a series regular? I'm like, yes!
It was kind of funny that, so actually before this, I interviewed Michael Campion.
Oh, yeah.
So that was actually kind of funny that now I'm interviewing you. So, he gave me a very similar story. He told me that he started crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he, so let me ask you, this is a question I meant to ask him, but I guess I'll ask you. So, throughout the show, he tries to impress you. He does, like, he kind of, it gets to the point where it's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was it funny when all these things that he just kept going? Was it funny when Michael kept trying to impress you and you would just blow him off?
In a way, it was actually really funny. Like the 1,000 red M&Ms was hilarious. I thought that was amazing. Like in a way, it was also so genuinely like so genuinely Jackson of something he would do for Lola that it was kind of like, oh, like you couldn't help but be like, oh, that's cute, but like kind of creepy. Like 1,000 red M&Ms, but yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely hilarious being able to watch the progression of him just go from like liking someone to being like, I'll do anything. Yeah.
So also I'll ask you about, so on the show you're friends with Ramona Sony Bringas. Are you guys, what is that relationship like offset?
Oh man, we're such good friends offset. Actually, I think I Snapchatted her today. Like we have a Snap streak going. We hit 100, and now we're going further. But yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll stay up talking to each other until like 2 a.m. about life. We'll just FaceTime each other. We'll just be like, hey, how are you doing? And then we go down a rabbit hole. We just keep talking. So that's really great. We're such good friends. I feel like we get along really well too. We have so many like similarities, except she's like an awesome dancer, and I'm like, yes. But yeah.
I'd imagine that was important for you to have a good relationship, considering you're best friends in the show. You might as well be good friends in real life.
Yeah.
So let's see. So you seem like, so in the show you play a character that's not really like you in real life. I can tell. So how did you sort of prepare? How did you sort of get into that mindset of being, okay, I'm narcissistic. I am just a terrible person. A lot of people think I'm terrible.
Yeah.
How did you sort of get into that mindset? Were there any inspirations, I'm saying, that sort of got you there?
Yeah. Prior to working on Fuller House, I was working on a movie called Just for Darlings It Was, like I said, and I play a girl in that movie, and her name is Manda, and she's actually a mean girl. So I feel like in a way it kind of transferred over into Fuller House with Lola. But towards the end, I feel like I could actually be a little bit more of myself, and that she's just a little bit sweeter at the end, I feel like.
Are there, besides Michael, are the rest of the cast cool?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like cool's an understatement. They're just like awesome. Like I have no words. They're awesome.
So what does it mean now that you became a season 2 regular? What does it mean for your time? What does it mean that you have to do now?
Well, being a series regular, I guess, I get to say it. I feel like that's also really cool. Like, hey, like, what show are you known for? Fuller House. I feel like that's also a really big part of it. But, I guess that means I'm working a bit more too, like episode-wise. So, that's really cool. I mean, just time on set is it's time well spent, I guess. Yeah. It's really great.
Do you like telling people, so what are you doing afternoon? I am going to be filming Fuller House.
Yeah, sometimes I do that. Like, my friends will be like, hey, can you hang out? I'm like, sorry, we're filming right now. And they're like, oh. I'm like, sorry. And then we end up hanging out later in the week.
It doesn't... So basically, the way you said you imitate your friends, they were like, "I'm going to film," and they're like, "Oh," like they sort of feel bad for you.
It's like you're like, "Oh, you're still the same person," which is really nice. I feel like because they don't treat me like I'm different because I'm in the industry or because I'm on a TV show. Like I really love that about them. That they've stayed the same and they've stayed true the whole time.
Well, it's good you have a solid set of friends. There's probably people out there that they get into showbiz and then immediately they lose everybody around them.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So, I guess you said at the beginning that, was it sort of a challenge at the beginning to play the character because you weren't usually like this? Or or you had done Jessica Darling's It List before, so you were already sort of in the mindset. You were
a little bit, yeah. I could kind of transfer that from movie to TV show.
So, so what do you do for so you seem like you have a lot of friends. So do you go to school?
I do not. I went to regular high school for a little bit. And then they're like, "Hey, you can't miss 7 weeks of school to go film," and I'm like, "Oh man!" But so now I do online school, which is it's been, I guess, a really good compromise of like the two.
Yeah. So your friends, you have your friends from the old high school, so that's
I know going to church on the weekends has become like one of my huge like social aspects of my life because all my friends, I see them on Saturday, I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" So it's almost like I go to school in a way because like I can see my friends still.
So I know I'm going like all over the place here. So
no.
So how did you, when you started acting, did you take any classes?
Oh yeah, I took quite a few classes starting off. I think my very first one was a class down here in Orange County, actually. And we did a class there, and then we did another class. We did actually quite a lot of classes.
I saw you did Second City, I saw. Have you?
Yes, we did do Second City. That was awesome.
Have you performed at Second City, or you just took classes there?
No, I took an improv class there for, is it 5 weeks?
So did you, is that because you did a lot of improv in Fuller House?
I really just felt like improv would be a really good way to kind of just really explore the different ranges of acting. Like there's scripted, and then there's like reality, and then there's improv, of course. So I felt like improv would kind of help me in my actual acting, as well as learning how to be spontaneous, I guess. Yeah, it has.
So, but do you, how is it, when you're given the script for Fuller House, do you guys improvise? Do you guys do you do a lot of improvisation, or are you more like sticking to the script?
I try to stick to the script as much as possible. I mean, sometimes we add a couple of things here and there, because we actually do different drafts of the script. So first draft, we have a first draft, and then we read that, the table read, and then our awesome writers, they go back and they figure out like what didn't work, what really worked, and then they keep that, and then they change it. So the scripts are constantly changing. I mean, it could be the day of shooting. They're like, "Here," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, rescripted." But yeah. So I mean, I guess the script is always changing in a way. So improv is always just kind of happening.
Yeah.
I know with like John Stamos and Dave Coulier and Bob Saget, they're always improving, and it's great. I mean, I think a few of the scenes in Fuller House were actually a little bit improv.
How's it to work with like big stars like Bob Saget and John Stamos? Like, what is that like?
Oh man, I guess I don't really have words. Just it's crazy, really. It's amazing to be like working, and just like I'm so incredibly thankful and blessed that. Oh man, I get to go to work and I'm like, "Oh, hey John Stamos," like, "Oh, he's so cool."
Are you guys on a first name basis, or do you guys do Mr. Stamos, Mr. Saget, or do you guys are like Bob, John?
It's funny, actually. A lot of people in industry don't like when you call them Mr. and Mrs. So we usually go by like the first name basis, which is quite different than like regular life. Because like in school, you're supposed to be taught to call your teacher Mr. and Mrs. But in the industry, they're like, nope, just call me by my first name. And I feel like in a way it's more casual too.
Yeah, I think I learned that because I was I think I learned, California casual. I guess that's the big thing. Yeah. So that's why, so when I started emailing agents to get people on the show, I'd be like, hi Rebecca, hi Anthony, like I'd use first name basis. Yeah. So one thing I do know about sitcoms, when there's a laugh track. First of all, is it a live audience or is it just a laugh track?
We do have a live audience. So none of the laughs that you're hearing are actually laugh tracks. It's actually real people laughing, which I guess makes the jokes funnier in a way too. Like you're like, oh yeah, that is funny because you hear people laughing.
So did you because I was also taking this acting class and I learned that in sitcoms there's you have to pause whenever there's a laughing. So did you have to learn that, or did you learn that over time? Or?
Oh yeah, my very first live show, episode 4. It was a Friday, and we were doing our live show, and I said my lines, and I was like I literally just had to wait. I was like, oh wait, that was funny. I was supposed to wait. So I guess I kind of had to learn that too. And our awesome dialogue coach came to help, and she's like, hey, like, because we do have a live audience, and like that joke is supposed to be funny. You gotta wait a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I got that. 'Cause I feel like just filming it in a regular studio and just rehearsing it, you don't actually have people laughing, so you don't kind of know when to pause, but you catch on really, really quickly.
Yeah. Was it torturous at first? Was it really like says blah 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 blah? Like you'd have to.
In a way, but after a while, you kind of just like when you're reading a script, you'll just be reading it and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's funny. I know I gotta wait there. So even when you're rehearsing, you just put a gap there because you know that you're gonna have to wait anyway for the live show when they tape it. So I guess it kind of becomes like a mindset after a while.
Okay, had you seen the so before you got the role Fuller House, did you decide to see had you seen Full House?
I had. I mean, as a kid, I watched maybe a few episodes, I guess, but I didn't know like the characters by heart, and I was like, oh, I know all the catchphrases. But I definitely heard of Full House, and I enjoyed watching it because I mean, it's like a perfect family show, I guess. And then after I got the audition, and my mom's like, this is the sequel to Full House. I'm like, oh man. So I went on YouTube, I looked up everyone's catchphrases, kind of got like the feeling for what the comedical timing is for it.
So is that you now do you now I want to talk sort of, so I know you're on another show called The Kicks. So you play the character is of Parker. I just did some research for the interview. I haven't seen the show yet.
It's
good idea, Andrew. Have you what is she like? Is she similar to your character? What is she like?
Oh no, she's absolutely polar opposite. I have to say, so I play a girl. Her name is Parker, and she's a goalie on a soccer team. So basically, I'll give you like a summary of what The Kicks is about. So The Kicks is based off of a book written by Alex Morgan, and she's on the U.S. women's soccer team. So she wrote a book, and it's kind of about how there's this team of girls, and like they're on a soccer team, but they're not very good. So over time, it's kind of about how they change and how they become closer with each other, and in return, that friendship shows on the field, and they dominate. So I play Parker. She does parkour. She wears a beanie. She has like hair. She has like red like streaks in her hair. She wears black a lot. So I guess she's also like a polar opposite of me and Lola kind of combined. But I guess it was really great to play her as well, because I mean it's always good to.
Was that show still going on? Are you guys doing another season of that, or is that?
I haven't heard of a season 2 yet, but. But yeah, I mean, season 1 is out right now.
Mm-hmm. Did those filming schedules ever intersect with each other, Fuller House and the Kicks?
No, actually, as soon as I finished season 1 of Full House, I had a little bit of time off, and then I started the Kick. And then I had 3 days off, and then I had Fuller House. So it kind of worked perfectly.
But so, wait, if you're, let's say, so that basically, since you do, like, virtual high school, that means, like, if you don't really have any filming, then, what do you yeah, you still do, so then, if, that's probably a faster pace, that's probably, do you find that easier to do than public high school, or what happened?
In a way, I guess it's more flexible, but if you miss like 1 or 2 days, you're already 6 lessons behind. So it's very easy to get behind. Yeah, there's that. I mean, it's easy to get behind, but it's also easy to get ahead. So then I gotta weigh those two. But I went to public high school for a while, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work. I did take 0 period. I don't know why, but it was a lot of work. But I feel like being able to see your friends every day kind of makes up for that. Whereas in online school, it's easier, but you don't really have your friends there for support. So.
There's no, like, sort of, is there, like, an online community that you can join, or?
Yeah, I know a few of the people who I do online school with. It's this huge program, and actually a few of my actor friends do it too, so kind of have each other for that. We're like, hey, did you do that lesson yet? Yeah, I did. Oh, I didn't. Okay, let me do it. Okay, now we're on the same topic. All right, let's read this book together. Like, we had to read Huckleberry Finn, and I was like, oh, like 40 chapters long.
Do you, is it, I'm pretty sure, online high school, is there, like, it's probably, have you ever, don't worry, nobody listens to this podcast. Don't worry, I'm gonna ask you this. Have you ever, do you think it's easier to cheat doing online high school?
I feel like it would be. I mean, I personally don't.
No, of course, yeah,
you can.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely easier. I mean, because I know you have the internet at your fingertips, and it takes a lot of self-control not to do it, especially if you're behind and you're like, I am behind, and I need to finish all these lessons, but I am going to do the right thing and not cheat. I know one time, though, in Spanish, I didn't know a word, so I did look that up, but that was, like, the only time. And I told my teacher, and she's like, it's okay, like, you looked up one word. I'm like, I'm sorry.
So, if it's, the reason why I'm so interested in virtual high school is because I'd heard a lot about it. Like, I tried to get into it last year. My parents said no. So I just really wanted to sort of know what it's more about. And, like, so basically, you're, like, in your room all day, just, like, typing? What's that like?
I'm on my computer, my handy dandy MacBook Air, and I am sitting here for a long time. Yesterday, I didn't go to bed until, I don't know, I might have saw the sunrise, because I was doing work, and I was behind in lessons, and I have this semester deadline due where I have to be 50% done, or else I get zeros and all the stuff I didn't do. So it's like, oh, I gotta get all my work done by this time, which I did. I got 9 lessons done yesterday, and I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, so speaking of cheating, do you think Lola or Parker would cheat?
Parker, maybe. Lola, no. I feel like Lola is kind of like me in a way where she wouldn't be able to. She'd probably turn herself in if she did. And then I feel like Parker would be like, yeah, I cheated, and just tell everyone, because, like, that's just the kind of character she is.
Yeah. Now I really want to see the show, because I like that sort of character that's like, I did that bad thing the other day.
Yeah.
A character like that.
She does parkour. She's like super cool. She's like tough, and then there's me, and I'm like, eh. So we actually had to, since she is the goalie, we had to film some scenes where she is the goalie, hence me catching a soccer ball, flying through the air, and I'm like, guys, I don't play soccer ever. Like, I'm like the most, like, uncoordinated person you'll ever meet. I tripped over the stairs this morning. Like, I tripped.
Did you get
So,
Did you get hurt?
no, I didn't. I just tripped, and I'm like, oh. I mean, I trip a lot, so
Oh, well,
I
that's
never
gonna be the if you ever get really really famous in the future, they're gonna come back to this podcast and say, Ashley, is it okay? So is it Liao? Liao.
Yes, you got it. Liao. It's
Liao.
kind of like cat's meow, but spelled like chow.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way of doing it. I have because my last interview was with somebody named Etdrick, but it was spelled Etderick.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was going to the episode. I was just I couldn't pronounce his name going into the episode, so I was just hoping that I would get it right. But before the episode, actually, he sent me how he pronounces it because I guess he knew already that I would be able to pronounce it. Mm-hmm. So anyways, what I was saying is in the future they're gonna say Ashley Liao trips a lot. It's gonna be like variety.
No, it's like a known fact. Like, I'll be on set and I'll just trip. Like, it takes a lot of skill to trip on flat surfaces, which I'm very good at. Like, over my own feet, over wires. It's bad. Don't take me ice skating. I will fall.
Yeah, I'm not good at ice skating either. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Here's another question. What show do you think is better to watch between Fuller House and The Kicks? And what show do you think is better to watch, and what do you think is better to perform on? Or do you like better
really
to watch?
Because I love both shows equally. I have like my families in both of them. I feel like there are different aspects of both that people would really like. I feel like with Fuller House, if you love comedy and you were already a fan of Full House, I mean, watch it. Obviously, it's hilarious. And then
it was hilarious.
I feel like The Kicks is actually almost like a drama in a way too. It's kind of like a child drama without the drama in a way, but like it's kind of like a kid version of a drama. So
it's
if you
want
a drama and you love friendships and soccer and even if you don't like any of those, you just watch it. It's great. I mean, you definitely learn some life lessons from it too. Both shows you learn life lessons, which I really love. There's like a deeper meaning. I
do have to tell you, a drama that's not a drama.
Drama that's not a drama.
It's still not a drama. It has to be a different genre. So it's defined.
It's not like overly dramatic, but like it's kind of a drama and kind of a I don't know what it is.
It's a dramedy.
Dramedy. That's perfect. Yes, it's a dramedy. Comedy.
That's an actual genre. It's a very well known genre.
I know that there's sci-fi and comedy and drama and all the other ones that
you only know the categories in the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
That they give off.
Essentially, I was actually looking through People's Choice because Fuller House is nominated for a People's Choice Award. So I was looking through those. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of different genres. In a way, I feel like that's really great too because we have just so many shows and so many actors and actresses who.
Are you invited to those?
Huh?
Are you invited to those? The award events?
As of now, no, but I mean, hey, like, future-wise, I've always wanted to go to the Tonys. I mean, I'm a huge Broadway fan. I mean, I started off doing theater. I love theater. It's kind of my home, so I've always wanted to go there. I feel like if I had to go to one, it would be the Tonys.
Which, what sort of differentiates, sort of like specializes theater in front of like TV and film? Like what sort of is about theater that makes it so applicable?
Yeah, the aspect of, I mean, in theater, when you're performing, it's one shot. You have one shot to get it right. And we have one take, and if you mess up, then you can't really go back and fix it. Like in TV, if you mess up, they're like, okay, all right, we're gonna take it back from one, and like, oh, okay, it never happened. You just do it again, get it perfect, and then they can cut and paste it. Whereas in theater, you can't do that. So I really love that kind of a feel too, because it's just, you never know what's gonna happen. You have to be quick on your feet, which is also kind of why I love like the medical field in a way too, because you have to be really quick on your feet and sharp at all times. Yeah.
Is theater more like sort of more personal to you because you're in front of an audience?
In a way, yeah, but I feel like Fuller House also has that too because we have live audiences. So
Hmm.
we still get to kind of connect with the fans and
Hmm.
see their faces and really just get to like meet them and know
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that sort of gives you an edge, right? Because you see like people at the Oscars or the Emmys, people who are in like the drama category who really don't perform in front of live audiences, and then they're like coming out there, they're like, thank you,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, hey guys, thank you.
Yeah, I
It's
also
sort of
feel like
more smooth.
doing like being on red carpets and getting interviews done too, that's also the same way because you have to really think about what you're gonna say. So as the person's asking you the question, you're already like formulating kind of what you're gonna say.
Hmm. What's sort of the most annoying part of this? Is there anything part of the whole like industry that's very annoying to you?
Um, hmm. Besides early call times, I feel like
Hmm.
I really love the industry. A lot of people have a negative point of view on it, and I feel like unless you're actually in it, you never really know. So I feel like I'm so thankful that my parents actually let me do this because it's been such a gift, in a way, because I
Hmm.
know that one of the things I really love about the industry is that if you're sad and you're having a bad day, you can go watch a show, maybe Full House, and it'll
Hmm.
make you laugh. It'll make someone's day, and that's really just what I love about it.
Hmm. Did the people from Fuller House tell you to just say that? Be like, make
No.
sure you say Fuller House.
No, I like to put in the self promo in there because
Yeah.
I feel like
Do you think they're gonna give you a raise?
just because I love the show.
Hmm. Do you think that'll give you a raise? Be like, is Jeff Franklin's the showrunner, right?
Yeah, he's great. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
So you'll be like, Jeff, I was on a podcast the other day and I kind of promoted Fuller House. You wanna sort of, does that constitute a raise?
No. But yeah, I mean, it's always good to promote your own show, I guess. You know, you can never promote it too much. I mean, maybe I do, but
Hmm. Is it kind of I know about your film It List.
mhm.
So since you've done are you more used to live audiences or you're more used to sort of just acting just behind a camera and there's like just lines that you do.
I feel like I'm more comfortable actually in front of a live audience. I feel
Hmm.
like with that sort of kind of pressure behind you, you actually perform and do better.
Hmm.
Or that's just personally, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I do better with a live audience.
Hmm.
You also
and
get
and
feedback a
yeah.
lot easier too, I guess, because
Yeah.
the audience you can kind of tell what they like and what they're all emotional and sappy about. But yeah, filming other things, you don't really have that because you don't get immediate feedback. You have to wait till it comes out, and then the critics review it, and then the fans review it, and all that stuff.
Hmm. Does it is it I'd imagine after if you're going from like a live audience to if you're going from a live audience to just a film, then it's like you do the film and then like you say lines like, oh, nobody's clapping for me, nobody's there to
Sometimes people are
applaud my
just
achievements.
mental clap. Mental
Hmm.
clap. If you know that was funny, like, ooh,
Hmm.
that's good.
Hmm.
Sometimes my mom will be like, that was funny, and like that's my clapping. She'll be like, that
Hmm.
was good. And I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah, it's very good that you have supporting parents. It's
yeah,
you know
yeah.
I'd imagine that you're not very lucky. What do how did does anybody in your family work in the industry?
Nope. I'm the first one, I guess. All of my
Hmm.
other family members are like super duper like smart geniuses. Like I can do like, oh, they're all like, oh man, like I got like a super high score on my SAT. Like look at me, and I'm just like, hey. I'm in the
I
industry, but like in the same, it's also good because like I feel like a
hmm
pioneer. Like I'm the first one in my family.
hmm it's like
That's,
I got a 1250 on my SATs. I just memorized my lines. It's
yeah.
yeah.
I just booked a new show. Hey.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Hmm.
it's kind of
Hmm.
different that way.
Mm-hmm. So, how does what is sort of a film set? I've never really seen a like a big film set. How's the studio look? Is it like a sort of a big studio that they do Fuller House in, or even the Kicks? Like, is it a big thing, or is it sort of just a small, sort of intimate? A few cameras, maybe a boom mic. Like, what is it like?
Well, the difference between the difference between Fuller House and the Kicks is that Fuller House is a multicam, which means that they have 4 cameras and that the room is split in half. So when the camera's looking in towards us, it's only half, and that's why you never see the other side of the room. Whereas in the Kicks, it's a single cam, which means there's only 2 cameras. They're usually handheld, and the set is 360 like this, except it doesn't have a roof. So it's really different in that way, I guess, because you're kind of learning how to cheat out when in a single cam or in a multicam, because you have cameras coming from these angles, so you have to learn how to kind of like position yourself towards your camera. Whereas in the single cam, they can catch you from all the angles. So I mean, it's not really much of an issue if you're like turned.
Yeah. Does that make it harder for you as an actress if it's a multi-cam versus single cam?
No, I feel like doing a single cam, though, it does take a little bit more time, but it's not really much of like a hassle having to do it a few more times, because you get so many other different shots that a multicam wouldn't get. So it's really cool.
So if you could be as you probably get more acting experience, you'll probably be offered bigger roles. What is your dream role? What would you want to do, if anything?
A TV show that's running right now, or one that's already ended?
Or just anything, like you'd want to play like sort of a, like, for example, I'll tell you, I was talking to Michael, and he said he'd want to play a teenage James Bond.
Ooh.
So like something.
He didn't play Star Wars, because he loves Star Wars.
He loves Star Wars? Yeah, he didn't mention Star Wars.
Yeah. Huge fan of Star Wars, but I feel like if I could play a role, I've always wanted to be in like a movie that's like super iconic, like Mean Girls or like Clueless or Legally Blonde, like all of those movies.
Like a cult film?
Oh, I love them. I watch them so much, mainly just because I'm even like if I'm bored, I'll be like, hey, let's watch Clueless for the 17th time.
Who is sort of your acting? So what's your like favorite movie? Clueless.
Well, I really want to go see, what was that one? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. What was it called?
I did it like twice, so it's okay.
One of them in the theaters. What? You think I know what it is, but I don't.
Yeah.
Movies in theaters. Because I feel like I need to know what it is. It's literally gonna bug me forever if I don't figure it out. Okay, not gonna tell me. But I don't know. There's a movie in the theater right now that I really want to go see, and it's I can't get it. But I recently.
Did it just come out, or did it just come out, or is it like what's the genre?
It just came out. It's kind of like sci-fi.
Is it is it Tim Burton?
No, I don't think so.
Tim Burton movie.
We're gonna figure this out together. We're gonna figure it out.
Sci-fi.
But yeah, I've always wanted to go see that movie. I don't know what it's called. Because...
Wait, so it's sci-fi? Is it like a is it coming out, or is it out now?
Oh, okay. It wasn't sci-fi. I wanted to go see Miss Peregrine's Home for...
That's the movie I just said.
You did? Oh, okay.
I said that's directed by Tim Burton. I was like, the Tim Burton movie? And you're like, no.
Is it actually Tim Burton?
Yeah, that's Tim Burton.
Oh, yeah. I also wanted to go see Storks, too. Oh, no, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, do you like, is that sort of your favorite genre, sci-fi, or do you like...
I've recently been into scary movies. Like, I really love scary movies all of a sudden. I don't know why, because I'm usually, like, the scaredest person ever.
Yeah, I cannot stand a scary movie. Oh my god. How did you just get into that?
I couldn't force myself to see Ouija. Like, I'd be too freaked out. Like, I would literally leave. Like, no. I would bolt out of there. like gotta blast, gotta go.
Yeah.
But I feel like ones that aren't like I would never be able to watch The Conjuring either. I feel like Lights Out maybe I could deal with.
Yeah, I tried to break that. Was there like a movie that sort of broke your streak of like, okay, I'm gonna conquer my fear. I'm gonna go see, like, was it something like that, or you just started watching movies?
No,
and it's like, this isn't that bad.
I watched one scary movie and I was like, yes, it's good. So I've kind of been a fan of that ever since. I feel like there's something so like different about
thrilling.
Like literally just like sitting here like this in my chair. Yeah.
Do you which movie was it that was like the first that sort of brought you out of your shell?
What was it? I have to think about this. Hold on, let me try and remember.
I mean, you memorize your lines for Fuller House.
You know, I'm actually a very forgetful person in reality, though. Like, I'm good at memorizing facts, and I'm good at memorizing lines. Yeah. Everything else is just a blur.
Yeah.
What? I don't remember. I'm actually blanking right now. I don't remember. But it was good. It was scary.
Well, yeah.
Not too scary.
It doesn't matter. What do you...
But yeah, I love scary movies now.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel Sony also really likes scary movies too, so I feel like we should have a scary movie-thon. Scare-a-thon? Scare-a-thon. That's it.
Scare-a-thon, yeah. So, what movies do you think, not movies, how do you, this is the question, sorry. I blanked out. That was, I think, my third time blanking out, so it's 3-1.
2.
3-2, yeah. It's gonna stay at 3, I hope. But how do you memorize your lines? What techniques do you use? What sort of do you do?
Memorization wise, I mean, I've always been good at memorizing facts. I feel like that's why I really love history. I love Hamilton because I like memorizing facts, and I like being like, hey, interesting factoid, did you know? And my mom would be like, what? So I guess I've always really liked memorizing things, and I was really good at memorizing poems in 4th grade and like reciting them. So I feel like that kind of prepared me. But when I'm like preparing like a script, I usually read over it a few times, kind of figure out where the jokes are, and that's where I'll put a slash if there's a joke there. And then when I know I need to take a pause, I'll do a straight line. Sometimes they get confusing though.
So you do annotate your scripts, like you make it yours.
Oh yeah, I annotate them so much. Like they're all written up and stuff. And then sometimes I'll put like little thought bubbles, like, hey, this is what it needs to sound like. Like I'll put intonation dots because sometimes I forget like the intonation of what I put, and I was like, oh, that's good. So I do like little dots going up and then like down, like for the cadence. But yeah, so to memorize them, I just go over them a few times. I sometimes have my mom practice. Sometimes I'll look in the mirror and practice. Other times I've written out scripts too. Like when you write down your lines, it actually helps you remember them. So
I did learn that in that class. So do you use make sure your throat is high, sure, hydrated, So do you use like, so you do very like traditional ways, you don't use like technology or
no, I don't like hang upside down and like read my lines, but like no, I don't know, it kind of just comes naturally, I guess.
So you were like born with a gift.
Memorization, not remembering. I feel like that's kind of what I have.
Yeah, as we've seen.
Yeah. I'm good at remembering songs though, because I mean I can memorize all 58 tracks of Hamilton, but I can't remember anything.
So it's like memorization, selected remembering.
Yeah, selected, like what I want to remember. Like schoolwork, some of it I want to remember, some of it I don't want to remember. But like I usually have a pretty good time with schoolwork too, just memorizing facts and stuff like chemistry
for tests and stuff.
Psych. That's kind of why I took psychology, because I'm really interested in that.
Yeah. I think you're lucky though. I think Hamilton is coming to California, March 2017.
You have to buy 2 of the passes, like 2 of the season ticket things though.
Yeah.
You can't buy one, you have to buy 2 because it's in December. So that's like right when it renews. So I don't know how we're gonna try and get tickets, but I know they're coming to the Pantages, so I'm like super excited.
Yeah. I haven't even seen it yet because the tickets are over like $1,000.
On closing night, tickets went upwards of $15,000, and that was for the back. Like, yeah, it's been crazy. It's been the hottest ticket on Broadway. So I've been dying to see it. I've also really been dying to see The Color Purple because I've heard that's really good too.
Yeah. Have you been to do you go to New York often?
I've never been to New York.
You've never been?
No, I've never been to New York.
You're like, I want to see all this stuff, but I'm just like 3,000 miles away from it.
Yeah, I was talking to my manager, and I'm like, I've never been to New York. She's like, we'll get you there. I'm like, yes. And then she's like, you should go watch some Broadway shows too. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm so excited. Like, I want to go November, kind of when it's cold, because we don't get snow here. Do you guys get snow in Kentucky?
Connecticut.
3-3. Connecticut. Oh, I don't know why I thought Kentucky. I should have a friend in Kentucky.
They're very similar.
Connecticut. Yeah, do you guys get snow in Connecticut?
Well, it's technically New York City, because it's 45 minutes away from New York City.
Oh, okay.
So, but...
Connecticut's little.
Yeah. Connecticut, it's this...
Like this big.
Yeah, it's like California's
like, what? Texas is like...
I can't... Yeah, my screen can't even do it, but yeah, Connecticut's very tiny. But it's very convenient. I live 45 minutes away from New York City. But, and if you do come out here, you should definitely see, there's a show that you should definitely see. It's called Something Rotten.
Something Rotten.
Should write that. It is amazing. I'm telling you, you could sort of... I don't know if you have Apple Music or Spotify. You can probably get the soundtrack. I saw it. It was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Really? So that's just what I recommend.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up right now and I'll save it. All right,
yeah,
save it.
Good. So, so you does your agent? You said your agent we'll get you out to New York. Is that because is that just
like we'll get you out there, but like you'll go one day, like you'll go.
It's like your parents telling you when you're 5, one day you'll drive.
One day you'll drive, and you will. Oh my gosh, I can get my permit in 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, considering it's Southern California, though, I'm pretty sure that isn't the most exciting thing to get. In California.
I've always wanted to drive. Like I've always been really independent, just as a person in general. So I feel like driving's just kind of like, ooh, I can drive. Well, not like drive by myself, but I can have my mom sit in the passenger seat and I can drive.
Yeah, but California, it's not really like I'm so excited to drive. I'm so excited to wait in the road for 30 minutes. Is it more like that?
Worse than that. LA traffic is absolutely the worst.
I mean,
I don't know how my mom does it. I don't know how she's so patient. I don't know how. It's just.
Is it easier just to walk to things?
It's like 3 hours, traffic,
Is it easier just to walk to things?
I say
so far
Los Angeles either takes 15 minutes or 45 minutes to get to. So. That's driving. Walking to things can actually be pretty difficult.
Oh. Yeah. So is that the 45 minutes? Is that including the traffic?
Yes. If you go from one side of Los Angeles to the other side, I'm saying that takes about 45 minutes.
Say what is that without traffic? Without traffic, so that's making
if you want to go from Beverly Hills to Santa Monica, maybe it would be it would still be 35 minutes. Maybe 45. I think actually it's still 45. Even with or without traffic, somehow it's still the same. With traffic, because you get on the freeway, so I feel like it wouldn't be this long. Not protecting the roads either.
So, do you have any other? What do you do besides acting? Is that are you just like a Is this like, is that all you do, or do you do something else, or?
Well, acting takes up quite a lot of my time, but right now we're on hiatus, so,
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Student, so I am still doing schoolwork and all that. I love reading. I think, is that a thing? I like playing the guitar and singing and playing the piano and.
Yeah. Reading is a. I want to reading. That depends on the person. Wait, so you play guitar?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Guitars are cool. Do you play is it you probably for fun, right? Is that like a serious thing to you, or is that just you just like jamming out?
Well, I mean, I haven't really taken like singing or playing the guitar onto YouTube or anything, so I guess it's still like kind of a hobby. But I've always really wanted music to be part of my life, and it really has. Because when I was little, my parents signed me up for piano lessons, and that's kind of where I started. And then I took violin for 4 years. I learned how to play the 4 chords the 4 strings that were given to me. And that's kind of where I got into strings, and then I started playing guitar almost 3 years ago to the day. Yeah, almost 3 years ago to the day. So that's kind of how I just started with music, and I realized I could sing at like age 7, and then age 2, my mom's like, you were 2 and you were humming. I was like, oh, really? She's like, you taught yourself vibrato at age 8. I'm like, no way. So I feel like it's always really been part of my life, and I really would like to keep it part of.
Yeah. Does the producers, do they take, like, if you tell them, like, I have this special talent, do they take that into consideration when they write,
Sometimes.
things?
Yeah, like Juan Pablo, he sings. And I think they've taken that into consideration. We've written in like certain things into season 2 that maybe you'll see, and like I'll let you know afterwards what they are. But yeah, so like they definitely get to know you as a person, and they kind of adjust your role to that. I'm really hoping that they let Lola sing though, because I don't think they've actually heard me sing yet. So.
Are they gonna do one of those things like I know. I think would be cool. Obviously, I'm not a writer, but I think it would be cool is what if they took your character, they took Lola, and they like did like a singing, they did like maybe a singing festival at the school, and then they would do like
So maybe she'll get into acting as a person, like.
I know you know what's happening. You're just like I'm telling you things. It's like. How accurate is he?
Yeah.
but that what I would do is if like, let's say, because I'm also a writer director, so I'm trying to do that more. In addition, I like doing stand-up comedy, comedy, podcasting. That's right now my big thing. But yeah, I also want to be a writer director. So if I was writing Fuller House, what if Ramona sort of took you to like a sort of a singing audition, and they you guys had like a bet, and you lost the bet, so you had to sing, so you had to go up on stage and sing your heart out on purposely, so like just embarrassing, like you couldn't, even if it was like completely out of tune.
Yeah.
And then you just find out your voice is amazing. It's like, wow,
it's like a revelation moment.
Yeah. Am I warm or cold about that? Probably very cold. I was just.
What they don't know that I sing yet, so I don't know.
They don't know. Oh, they don't know that you sing yet?
I think they know, but like I don't think they've written anything about it. So I kind of want to let them know, like, hey, I sing. I can't dance, but I mean, we danced in season 1, and they wrote that in. So. Well.
Yeah. You should tell them you sing.
I can hold the tune for a little bit.
Yeah. I just let you guys know that I can sing. If you have a chance, if you're writing, if you want to.
I have my guitar actually right over there. I have 2 guitars. I have one big and one like baby guitar.
You want to play something?
Sure, let's see.
If you want.
I
For the listeners right now, Ashley is getting her guitar. What type of guitar is it?
It's a guitar. Like, it's one of my favorite things. Like, if I had to take one thing from my room, it might just be my guitar, because I love it that much.
Play something.
Like what? I haven't learned much. Let's see. Okay. I'll play something that's like, something that I learned that's just like solely guitar that took me 4 hours to learn, and I'm still learning it, so I'm trying to figure out what it is. Whoa, that's not it. How to sing along to that yet, because it's
What song is that?
But yeah, that's like the very beginning of Beautiful Things by Tori Kelly. Tori Kelly has been my absolute love. I love her. Her music is amazing. Just I love what she stands for, and I love Tori Kelly so much. But yeah.
What else is that? Is that the best? You've been playing guitar for 3 years. Come on, you gotta have something better. Come on, I know you do. Come on.
I mostly learn chords with songs and stuff, so I haven't really learned anything that's like solely guitar based yet. So I'm still trying to learn that, because I have some friends who play like
lead
crazy stuff on the guitar. So the things I do are actually just my guitar is my accompaniment. I don't know. I'm not bad with that too. But
do you play? So you play chords though.
Yeah.
You're more in the that's called I play guitar too, so that's rhythm guitar. Yeah.
You play real guitar, I play chords.
No, I also play chords, but chords is not I tell you you shouldn't don't like lower the amount of chords. Like lead is cool. I have a friend who plays lead and it's crazy, and I've wanted to do it ever since. But I can't it's very scalier, I guess that's the word. Scaly.
Playing the piano kind of helps with that too, because you can figure out what key things are in without having to like adjust the capo. Because like if you want to like play a different song and it's too low and you don't have a capo, then you can actually just like transpose it in your head, I guess.
But yeah, do you use do you know the app Tab Pro?
No, I use Ultimate Guitar.
Ultimate Guitar, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Tab Pro,
I love it.
That's an amazing. I literally, because I like the feature where you can play the song, like you're playing the song, and then like there's the option where it's like you're playing a song and then it gives you like the chords for that song immediately. I really like that. I like to play do you ever like to play like rock?
No, I play a lot of Taylor Swift on here, I guess. I've recently been learning Adele's Chasing Pavements. Adele's Chasing Pavements has been like the thing I've been learning for a while. I mean, it's not too difficult, but just like kind of getting the
What do you have so far?
Right, I guess.
What do you have so far of it? Like.
Okay. All right, I'll start from the beginning. Okay. Intro. I've made up my mind. Don't need to think it over. If I'm wrong, I am right. Don't need to look no further. This ain't life. I know this is love. But if I tell the world, I'll never say enough, 'cause it was not said to you. And that's exactly what I need to do. If I end up with you, should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, even if it leads nowhere? Oh, would it be a waste, even if I knew my place? Should I leave it there? Should I give up, or should I just keep chasing pavements, Even if the A leads nowhere. That's what I've done so far. Yes.
That was pretty good. Don't downgrade, that talent. That was very, very good.
I'm like, every time someone asks me to sing, like, I hear people are like, hey, like, you sing something. I'm like all of a sudden I just start shaking. Like, no matter how comfortable I am beforehand, I get nervous either way. I don't know why.
You better hope they don't make you sing in Fuller House.
Yeah.
Would you want to sing in Fuller House? If they gave you the option, would you?
Of course, yeah, I would love to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really.
They in the studio first, though, I think, and then they play it back.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna call the report of this podcast. They're gonna call it "Hidden Talents of ASHLEY LIAO."
You're gonna have to wait an hour to listen to it, though. So watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you play guitar. Yeah. So it's really so it's acting and guitar. Is there anything else that? Is there any do you have any how some people, and have you seen the movie The Breakfast Club?
I think so. Yeah, I've heard a little bit. I've seen a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm. There's a scene. This doesn't really give the movie away. There's really nothing about.
No, I know what happens at the end. I watched that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either the thing with the toenails.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you do anything sort of like that? Not like that obvious. Can you do that?
No. No.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I feel like I've only watched a little bit of it.
Oh.
I feel like I would be the girl, though, who, what's her name? She's always in pink. She was in pink during detention. She sat in pink. She brought sushi with her. What's her name? I think
the actress' name is Molly something.
Yeah, I've seen her in something else, I think. But, yeah, I feel like I'd probably be her if I did get detention.
Yeah. No, but can you do any sort of, sort of special talents?
I can move one eye at a time. I don't know if that's a
roll one eye at a time.
I can move one eye at a time. I guess that's kind of weird in a way. I can't move the other one.
Weird.
I can move one, so I'm I guess.
That is weird. If they cast you in a sci-fi movie, you're gonna have to tell them you could do that if they cast you in a sci-fi movie. This side of
my hands are double jointed, my thumb. This side's double jointed and this side isn't.
Mm-hmm.
This side is that side does that and this side doesn't. So I don't know. That's another special thing. I used to be able to make a buzzing noise with just my front teeth when I was younger, but now I can't do it because my teeth kind of spaced out. I can't. I used to be able to buzz, just the frequency, air going through the small gap of my teeth. With a buzzing noise, and I can't do that anymore.
Are you embarrassed? I saw when you were playing guitar, you were like da da da, and then you were like looking to the side. Are you are you worried somebody's gonna walk in?
I was looking at my chords because I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was looking at my chords. Yeah,
okay, I thought you were looking
what are you
please
looking at?
not let my mom watch me.
I did not. I have them on the side.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, my chords are all sore right now.
Yeah, that's actually, I think, it's good, I think third podcast interview, I already got somebody singing. Pretty cool,
I feel like it would have been better if I had actually prepared for it. I didn't prepare to sing anything.
That was pretty good. That was very good. You're for somebody being no, it's okay. That was very, very good, I have to say.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to do that more often. When someone sings, I'm saying, I'm trying to be yeah, sure, yeah. But I'm usually just no, shy. My mom's just do it, and I'm okay. So I guess I've been kind of working on that, I guess.
Do your parents sort of what do your parents sort of do your parents sort of pressure you to do everything that they know that you can do, they know you can sing, so they keep telling you sing more,
in a way, I guess my mom, she hasn't pressured me, but she knows what I'm capable of.
She pushes you. She knows what you're capable. She pushes you.
Which is really nice, because when I'm out in public or something, or I am like filming a video or something, and she's like you can sing, like you can do it, like just sing. So I'm like, okay. So I do lively sometimes on Musically, and
Yeah.
sometimes we'll just have a good little while where I'm just like I'm jamming out on the guitar, and my mom's watching it on her phone. She's like, you did a good job. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. You said public, so it gave me a question. What is how do you since now that you do Fuller House, is that changed like when you like walk out, you know, in like a store or on the street or something? Like how's that changed? Like
in Los Angeles, I feel like people look at me a little weird. Like one time I wore my Fuller House jacket out. Like no one could really see it, but like sometimes it like the logo on like the jacket would show, and people would literally just like stare at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm wearing a jacket. I once got stopped at the beach and like it was cold and I was like wearing a towel. I was like yeah, a photo, but like it was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. It was like I was actually with my friends and they're like, does this happen often? I'm like, no, actually. A lot of people don't really recognize me. I feel like because I've changed so much from the first season to now that like people don't really recognize me as Lola.
Yeah.
I'm definitely less tan too because I actually came right back from Hawaii as soon as we filmed that, so I was like super duper tan. I was like really tan.
No, because I was making sure I think I heard somebody coming up the stairs, but I locked the door. But I closed the door and I told her it's like, don't disturb me, okay?
Do not disturb.
Yeah, I take this. My parents don't understand. Like, why do you take this so seriously? I'm just like, this is like the biggest thing I do. Okay, this is. It's like, don't you want to spend time with people?
Having a podcast must be cool. I mean, you get to talk to Michael. Like, Michael's pretty cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
Awesome.
I guess.
Hashtag Jola. We have a ship name. Everyone ships Jamona, though. Like, he posted a photo for my birthday.
Wait, shift?
Everyone's like, aw, these people are cute. But I ship Jamona. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I guess it's kind of like, you always have to have your teams. It's like Bella and Twilight, I guess.
Yeah. Wait, so you
that today, and my mom didn't get it.
Oh.
She's like, oh, like Twilight.
Older generation. Yeah.
Actually, no. My mom's actually really cool. Like she's in with all the times. The other day, she was like, "Do I look like I'm on fleek?" Like she's like, "Your highlighter's on point." I'm like, "Mom, thanks." So like my mom actually like she like.
Thank you for using modern catchphrases.
Yeah, she texted me. She's like, "I'm here right now," but she didn't put right now. She put RN, and I'm like, "Whoa, mom's catching up to me."
Yeah. So she's not like, because my mom is extremely like not tech savvy at all. She's I don't know what the term is.
My mom might be more tech savvy than me. Like she knows, like if the internet's down, she knows how to fix it. I don't know how to do that. And then she does need help downloading stuff though, because like we had to download Skype today, and she's like, did I like put it in here? Like I double tap it. I'm like, yeah, but like my mom's actually really good at technology. Like everyone in my family is really good with technology. And then there's me. I'm like, the internet's down. She's like, it's because your Wi-Fi's not on. I'm like.
Yeah. Like this is how bad it gets. You know when you do full screen?
Yeah.
On your computer? When that happens, she doesn't know how to get out of it, so she starts freaking out. She's like, what is this? It's like, Mom, you're not that old, okay? You're not grandma.
You can get out of it. Oh, hold on. I was given the world's best birthday present the other day.
So
I watched The Office.
You watched The Office? I was about to say that. Is that
World's Best Boss? I don't know if it might be backwards on your thing, but...
No, I see it. World's Best Boss. Wait, where'd you get that for?
My friend, she gave it to me as a birthday present. She's like, I know
when
you're
was your
gonna love
birthday?
it. I'm like, oh, like what is it? Is it food? Because I love all food. She's like, no, you're really gonna like it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, when was your birthday?
October 21st.
Oh my god, how did I miss this? I was literally doing research. I was like, you go through like the details,
Yeah.
And then it's like you miss like the bigger picture. I was happy birthday.
Thank you. I feel like one of the things that has been really weird is that like famous birthdays wish me happy birthday, and I'm on their thing. So like if anyone ever forgets my birthday, I'm just like, you can look it up now. Like that's weird. Like you can look up birthday. Like it's so weird. Like all these articles and all these things pop up, and I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, like I saw an article like ASHLEY Liao promoted season 2 regular from Variety. I was like, wow, she's in Variety.
Yeah, I kind of freaked out when that happened too. And then Deadline did an article, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Wait, how do people know me?
I know. I was like, whoa. Like as soon as Solar House came out, someone else did an article, and I'm like, what? Like, what? That was like my first kind of experience with that. I'm like, whoa, that's so cool. Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah. So what are your sort of goals? What are your goals like? What do you want to sort of achieve as an actor, or just life goals in general?
Well, I have 2 pieces of paper right above my computer right here, and it says bucket list and goals on one side. So I'm reading off of it right now. My goals, I've already fulfilled booking my first movie, being a recurring guest, being a series regular. I want to be nominated for an Academy Award.
Doesn't everybody?
It doesn't though. Like I feel like
exactly.
Like, doctors work so long to be called like, oh, Dr. so and so, but like if you're nominated, it'll be like Andrew Cohen, Emmy nominated, and you're just like, what? Like, like it kind of follows you. Like Emmy nominated, blah blah blah. Like that was cool.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this podcast will get big someday. That's why I'm trying to book people like you, bigger people. Actually, your PR agent reached out to me. It was very, very weird.
Oh yeah.
Does she know? Do you know why? Because I've asked them many times.
I get emails saying we have secured you this time, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I just got this one. I get so many emails and like questions. Like sometimes they have me ask sometimes they have me like do questions and stuff, and I once had like 5 pages worth of questions to fill out. Let's just say I didn't get it worked on that day. I had questions.
I have a question. I've always wondered this because I think the first time I tried to get an interview, I tried to contact a talent agent, and they said to contact the manager. So what's the difference between the talent agent and the manager?
Well, the agent is kind of whose name is backing you up. Like, I'm signed with Innovative Artists, and they're awesome. Like, shout out to them. They're super sweet. And, so, like, when I go on auditions, I put down Innovative Artist Agency as my agents. Like, I don't put down my manager, but my manager is kind of who, she goes into more depth with kind of, like, contracts and, like, deals and stuff, and, like, who wants to work with me, I guess. She also got, Ona on my team, so my manager's really looking out for, I guess,
for your back.
Your career, like, longevity of your career, whereas your agent is making sure that you have a career by getting you auditions and stuff like that. Yeah. So basically, I'm gonna try to make this analogy. So basically, your manager is like your career parent. Yes.
Making sure that your career is going well. Thanks for clearing that up. I was very confused about that.
Takes it as a hobby and turns it into your career. So that's kind of what happens. But I mean, managers also have a lot less clients too, which means that they get to know you better and that you're closer as well. Like agencies can have a ton of clients, and like my manager only has a handful of clients, so she works really well. Not really well. She works a lot with us, and like we're constantly emailing each other and texting each other, and so I guess in emails though it gets confusing because like when Mona like emails us, like she'll be like, "Hi Team Liao," like you guys have a team. Like reading that,
you
like
have a team. What was sort of the process? Like what was the process of you getting all these people on your on Team Liao? From, you know, like, what was sort of the process?
I started off getting a commercial agent. This is actually where it all started. I started off first with a commercial agent. My mom went to this bookstore called Samuel French's, I believe, in Beverly Hills or in Los Angeles, and there's a book, a little book, like it's paper bound, like it's a regular book that they put together of what agencies are looking for, different agencies.
Yeah.
So, at the time, we chose one agency to sign with, not to sign with, but like to go in an audition with. We called them, we're like, hey, like, we heard you were looking for so-and-so, like a type person, would you be willing to see, like, my daughter? So my mom actually called, because we didn't have a manager, we had to learn all of this ourselves. And so we got an audition, I got a commercial agent, started off there, and then I auditioned for their theatrical department, and they said no, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll go find another agency. We went with another agency, and then I got a manager, and then another agency, which is now Abrams, we're with Innovative now, so that's the agency I've been with for a good while now. I'm really happy. And then after that, I have a manager, so I have a manager, agent, and then after Fuller House came out, we decided to get a publicist, because we gotta get all those like, articles out and get verified on stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty long process. But
Does it since I guess your mom has helped you through all this, does it make your mom kind of like a manager also?
My mom is my momager.
Momager?
Like in movies and stuff, you'll always hear like, get my manager, you're gonna have to talk to my lawyer, but in reality it's like, let me ask my momager.
So thank you for sitting down with me. This was a lot of fun. I always ask this last question I ask on all my interviews. Do you believe you have the drive to be successful?
Yeah, I think so. I think I have the drive to be successful. I mean, I guess working on such a big set and working with so many amazing people who are so driven and are already successful, I feel like that really kind of rubs off on you as an influence to be successful and to work hard at what you really want. Like, I mean, being in the industry can be really difficult, and it can be kind of heartbreaking at sometimes too, because, you know, you go out on an audition and be like, I really think I nailed it, and they're like, nope. So it can be heartbreaking, and from that you kind of learn, and you learn how to make yourself better because of that. So it really is something that has taught me how to work hard for myself and what I want and what I believe in and what I would like to happen in the future. But
so you faced a lot of that. You faced a lot of, you know, going through that stage of, you know, denial, you know,
yeah, the industry is full of that. So it's really difficult at first to get used to it, because you're like, oh, like I've never felt like someone didn't want like my talent or something like that. It's not because, a lot of the times it's not even because they don't think that you're talented enough. It's because like you're just not the right fit. Like, for example, they could be looking for someone who's Asian, and like the role is for someone who's Asian, but like you're too tall, or you're too short, or you're too old or young, and those are just things that you can't control. So really in the end, like, you can't really be mad at yourself for that, because who knows, maybe something even better will come down in the future. So
so I mean, I also imagine it's especially hard getting in, especially if you're like, you know, you say you're the first one in your family to go into the industry. I know Los Angeles is more, I know, because New York, I learned this, that New York is more, you know, you have to put in your day. You have to put in your days. You have to call a lot of people. It's more based on talent. Then Los Angeles is more based on like, who do you know?
Yeah, Los Angeles is very connections based.
Have you made a lot of connections through the work you've done?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call them like connections, more than like my friends, because I have friends through this.
I mean, they have Fuller House, obviously, but,
Yeah.
like, sort of,
I mean, just working in general and seeing people at events and stuff, you kind of learn, like, how to become friends in a way who, like, only see each other once in a while. But, like, we all exchange numbers, we all, like, chat, we all, like, DM each other. Like, we see a funny photo, we'll DM each other. Like, I saw something that was Hamilton, and I DM'd it to Casey, and I DM'd it to Chloe, and I was like, hey, check this out, this is hilarious. And then, like, Chloe sends me hilarious pug videos, and, it's really good. I mean, it's not just, like, connections for the industry, but just connections in, like, friendships as well.
Chloe and these are,
Chloe and Casey Simpson.
Who they? I'm sorry. Who do they play again on Fuller? Are these Fuller House?
They're not even on Fuller House.
Oh, these are just your friends. Oh.
Yeah, these are just my friends in the industry that I've met through, like, either working, because Chloe and I met through Jessica Darling's It List. Casey and I met through Nikki, Ricky, Dickie, and Dawn. So like, I just have friends from everywhere, I guess.
Yeah. No, because the thing is, you were saying as if like, so Chloe, and I was like, you were saying as if I knew these people. I'm like,
yeah. Sometimes I forget, because like, I've worked with them, so it kind of still sounds like we worked together, but like not on Fuller House.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you have a really great relationship with these people, and it doesn't really sound like, it doesn't really sound like, they're just like business professionals that you work with. They sound like they're really your friends.
A lot of people who get into the industry, like, they feel like, maybe if I do it, I'll become famous, or like it's for the money or the fame or whatever. But really, if you're doing it for those reasons, you're going to burn out really quickly, because you learn that it takes so much more drive to withstand all of the judgment and the denial and all that stuff in the industry. And so really what keeps you going is just the love for doing it, or doing craft and acting, making people smile and laugh. So, yeah.
Have you made money off of Fuller House? I mean, obviously, you just said you do it for the love of acting, but just for the question.
Yeah, well, yeah. I guess what to say.
It's okay, you could be a teenager, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, you can, because a lot of teenagers are very, money driven. But I mean, that's obviously not all teenagers. Hey, you could be a teenager, so like So have you do you?
Hey, that actually doesn't really affect.
I know that probably doesn't describe you.
I mean, I really love what I do. I mean, if
of course, no, I'm not saying that you don't.
Yeah. So
I'm saying this is based on, because I guess this is a lot of actors do it for love, but I meet up so many people in my school who are just like who just get jobs like just to make money, and they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, but that's why
you get both, I guess. You get to do what you love, and it supports you financially as well too, which is really great, because I mean, if you're doing what you love, it never really seems like work. Like being on Full House, I can't even really consider it work, because I love what I do so much.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley. This has been really fun. You could thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Okay. All right. Bye.